Hey, sexy souls. Welcome to Weird Woo. It's nice and early, and I'm enjoying it. I'm so happy because I like doing this really early. Tarot time. We're going to be pulling some cards, seeing if is a message. We come into coffee and tarot ready to sit down. Ooh, there is a message because a message just came through on my phone. Okay. What? Yay. So the premise is that we come into it, spirit gets to take the lead in regards to the message, which can sometimes end up being quite a lengthy one. So it's like sitting down with your friend because they got something to tell you, but you go to the coffee shop because it's gonna be a hot minute. You're gonna settle in and you're ready just to talk. Um, don't come into this with any kind of preconceived notions, questions, parameters, time frames, things like that. Spirit directs how the conversation goes the entire time. Okay. So I will ask for clarity. I'll ask questions. I'll try to garner information. But in Coffee and Tarot, they don't have to answer anything. Not that they ever really do, but it's like they've got their own agenda. And so if what I'm asking doesn't fit into it, they will glaze right over it and just keep on going. So yeah, it's a let's pull up a chair, sit on the couch, get out on your patio with a blanket, grab your hot toddy, your lemon water, your tea, your coffee, whatever it is that you drink, settle in, and we're gonna see if there's a message. Hey, how are you? Dude, it has been forever. How are you freaking doing? Oh my gosh. I hope good, dude. I hope good. Yay. Okay. All right. So we're gonna. All right. Let's dig in. Okay. First, your friendly reminder: you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation: never to Cinderella it to make it fit. They're already pulling me to the secret tarot. Ooh, and it's the Lionsgate port. I know some people don't like it. I don't give a shit. If you have Leo in your chart at all, we own this. We own this, and we can create whatever portal we want, and people can just stay butthurt. Okay, so got Leo rising and Leo North Node here. So, and you know how we do? We kind of compete with Leo suns because we're like, you're trying to become a Leo. Leo risings are a Leo. That's how. Anywho's, um, so there you go. That is quite a fiery combination, though. Aries and Leo. A little friendly competition going on sometimes. Anyways. All right, let's get in here and see. Yeah, today is 8/8. So whatever you want it to be. The Chariot. Okay. Okay. I promise I'm gonna set up the view from the top down that I used to have. Because that was always better, but you know, 6 of Cups. It does feel like something coming back around. I'm gonna be honest with you. Something comes back around. For the woo-woo folks, this does feel it's like something that should have happened that didn't. Or something like from a past life, if that makes sense. But I kept hearing something comes back around. Because I don't feel like it's actually something happening for a second time or like a reunion or, "Oh, we're gonna give something a go." It's something that hasn't happened in this lifetime. That's why I'm like, it's either like a missed opportunity, like something that was like I heard a or like it was almost like they're giving me near miss, but I don't that a near miss is like it actually happened, but it almost didn't. Maybe this time's a near miss. Let's find out. I don't but see the chariot's like rhino spirit where like nothing can get in the way. Any obstacle is gonna be removed. So that's then I think by near miss they're trying to say you missed it the last time just barely. That's what it feels like. We'll find out. Page of Pentacles. Okay. So not so much this time, but Queen of Wands, King of Swords. They are showing me the way that it's coming out. Queen of Wands is looking that direction. King of Swords is looking at her. But the sword is up. So that's like, okay, they're being weird right now. But like the jig is up. I'm like, oh, okay. So sword being up is like the truth, something being understood, known, acknowledged, spoken, expressed. Like it's in the awareness, if that makes sense. Queen of Wands. I don't know why she's looking that direction, and I don't know why they are. Okay, they said she's looking at her wand, which I would like her staff, if you wanna say, which is like the epitome of her power. Okay. They both have winged creatures down below. They're just pointing shit out, and we're gonna figure out what it is. Why? King of Swords is definitely looking at like there's an acknowledgement of something. He's looking in her direction. There's an acknowledgement. There's an understanding. There's a truth. The swords pointing up kind of gives me the idea that there is something being expressed or communicated. Um, Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out why it's looking like this. Three of Pentacles. The creature down here looks similar to the ones on here, only this one has a tail. Look, I don't know why they're. Give me a second. I don't know why they're harping on the images. Queen of Wands is giving an energy of ready. Why does it not feel like she's looking off she's looking at something else? Maybe she's distracted. I was gonna say because, like, it doesn't feel like she's focusing on something else and, like she's oblivious to the King of Swords. Um, so that doesn't feel right, but she's distracted by what? I don't know. But she's ready, whatever the fuck that means. King of Swords. I'm gonna get woo-woo for a second. He is a little more closely related to this because he has the whatever the fuck tail that thing is. He doesn't have actual legs. He's got wings back here, which is reminiscent of this. And why does this feel like a familiar looking out for her? Like, look, sometimes I don't understand the imagery that they're giving me. And the fucking Three of Pentacles. It's almost as if something's done, something is finished. It's kind of like it's the it's the ground. When something's under somebody's feet, that's your past. So something's taken care of, and it's almost as if the two pentacles are the things that can be focused on. So there's some kind of foundation, the two pentacle or something resolved in the past, whatever you want to call it, and now the two pentacles can be. But there's not one that's seemingly more important than the other, but there is one being focused on. I feel like the pentacles represent both of them, hence why the King of Swords is focusing on the Queen of Wands. All right. Surely we're going to get to something here that makes sense. I think the reference to something not having its feet is and just relying on the wings is the idea of the speed of something, or like the lack of resistance. Something very confusing about the two of these. The energy feels very a bit off because this was like zoom, crystal clear. Something's muddled up down here. And I wonder if it's because she's getting distracted. Why is the Queen of Wands getting distracted? And what is she getting distracted by? Three of Swords. Okay, she's upset about something or feels sad about something. Feels maybe left out in regards to something. Okay. She's sad about something starting. Dare I say, the King of Swords is the Queen of Wands is focused on and distracted by some kind of like sense of loss or sorrow. Whereas the King of Swords has always been focused on the Queen of Wands. I'm not so certain that she is aware of that because here we have that little fucking creature thingy too, also, and there's two of them. Like there's something that's supposed to begin, and she's sad. Seemingly, I would assume that it hasn't. Surely you're not sad that it has. There's the Tower. So, oh, I get it. Shit, Shauna, put it the near miss, like the thing where it's like it. This is a second go round. It's coming in. So she's sad that something hasn't. Okay, she's under the assumption something isn't going to begin. There isn't going to be something coming into her reality. Meanwhile, so while she's distracted by feeling whatever kind of way about this, he's never taken his eye off of her. It's about to come back around again, bringing in the opportunity for it to come in. The pentacle that she's okay. So she's assuming something's not happening. We do have a Page of Swords. Can be the Watcher energy. Yeah, there's been a long wait. We have the Ten of Cups with the five. Okay. Okie dokie. So it's giving like so this is still something that can happen. It was supposed to happen. Like I don't know if she's aware of. She's sad about something not beginning, but I'm not getting that she is necessarily focused on the King of Swords. So maybe she just thought like timing wise something would have transpired by now, and it hasn't. And so there's this sense of loss, this long fucking wait, this long wait. And that's all she can think of. Like all she can think of. But all is not lost. Ten of Cups is still here to be had. Okay. I want a different deck because this one's not speaking as clearly as I want it to. Okay. Starman Tarot. Something comes back around. Let's ask about this King of Swords really quick. Remember, gender doesn't matter. I just focus like it's presented as a queen and a king, and so I just for clarity, for the ease of channeling, I just go bleh instead of anything else. But put the energies where they fit. In a time where we feel so disconnected from one another in society and across the globe, um, it seems as though deep um, spiritual slash romantic connections with people, like love connections, are taking a very prominent um, seat. Seemingly like this would be the time that we would focus on all the things that are going wrong, right? And the how to focus on things at a greater level, like the macro and meta level. Um, but in times like this, it's these types of relationships that can help us to anchor in, to give us footing and grounding and a sense of like a safe place to land amidst all the chaos and everything. And that's probably the reason why it's a driving factor in pulling people together. I know you wouldn't think so when you look at social media and the way men and women are like the lovers. Fucking knew it. Okay. Alrighty. So there's a lot of bees, a lot of honey. Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, what the fuck's been going on? There's a lot of work been going into something. Somebody's concerned about either losing money or a loss of money. Um, and it seems that might be added to why something's been postponed. Because I get with the Seven of Pentacles, like the long wait for something to come through. But there has been a concern surrounding finances and resources, and again, issues that are front and center across the globe for people, um, everywhere. Resources, money, abundance seems to be monopolized and hoarded in certain areas, and there's a lot of people feeling like they're having to scrounge, and so that can take focus, right, away from other things, rightfully so that it is a focus. Seven of Cups. So there's a level of confliction there. So somebody has really been focusing on, again, Eight of like you there's a singular focus here surrounding how do I take care of this? Like, it's like the combination of I need to concentrate on finances, but then this other thing, I feel like that's the king. That might be a part of the delay. Something didn't come through. There's confusion being experienced by the Queen of Wands and the King of Swords for different fucking reasons. Clarity's come in though. Okie dokie. So I guess clarity's finally fucking landing for somebody. I just heard what needs to be done. What needs to be done. Okay. I really liked the first line because it just felt so smooth and blah blah. This just feels like, yeah, they held themselves back. Eight of Pentacles is like a singular focus. It just feels as though that it was like I can't do both. I can't do both. I'm confused because I really like, emotionally, I feel tied to both. Like, I feel obligated somehow to really address my financial status. Um, it's like the practical and mundane versus, um, the emotional and desires. I heard the fears and concerns of what it would cost. Again, we've visited this before. It's like losing, like, if you were to lose out on all your material, stability only to not gain the thing that you're going after, is it really worth taking the risk? Is it really worth going after, when there's not a certainty, right, about something? Um, so there's a natural withholding. But look at all the crows that are surrounding this person. When I tell you, whoever this is, like the King of Swords has been prompted and prodded and pushed and, um, but they kind of like lock themselves away in their thoughts, spirit trying to get in. So that's a change that I see here. Tell me about the 3 of Pentacles. So if there's a foundation or something's behind them, what is this? 3 of Pentacles. Tell me. So they have come to some kind of like peaceful conclusion within themselves. Oh my gosh. 5 of Swords, that's where they were. Hierophant Empress. Okay. There's a sense of I can rebuild. The 5 of Swords is that was the conflict. That was definitely the conflict. Um, I don't wanna get pulled into the idea of, like, traditional patriarchy where it's my job to take care of somebody, blah, 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 and I can't do it, and da, 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 so I'm worthless. Um, there seems to be a recognition of, like, addressing the mundane, the practical, the finances, all that can happen. Again, they were thinking, "I have to focus on one." Like, they can't be distracted, I've really gotta address something. This doesn't feel like they're doing that anymore, it feels like a recognition of being able to do both. Like, maybe I would be in a better position. There's something about being in a better position, being with somebody and happy and loved, and, like, I'd be able to do more. Kinda, like, it reminds me of how I manifest better when I am happy-go-lucky, enthusiastic, I get to be a big kid, I get to just enjoy life. When I'm just doing things like, that's where I find, um I get most of what I want very easily. It comes easily. Manifesting comes easily. Um, this person, I think, believes that the priority now, because between the 2 pentacles, is whoever is the empress, and that from this connection, when they feel secure, grounded, rooted, loved, that things will come easier, is what it's sounding like to me. So, in that respect, there has been a mindset shift. While not really happy with the status quo exactly and feeling uncertain about it, the answer is that a connection should be the priority, the focus. Okay. Like, that felt like mud, like getting through fucking mud. Can I just say that? That felt like mud right there. Lord. So we've got the Queen of Cups. And the Star. Something about, again, when my soul is taken care of. There's something about there's peace that comes from this kind of individual, a very nurturing, loving, affectionate, caring, um, deep individual. When they get into a relationship, it's like the guidance, the understanding, the knowing comes through better. I think 7 of Cups, that emotional, chaotic confusion is because there's something about this connection puts somebody in a state where again, just as when I'm happy-go-lucky, like, being a big kid, enthusiastic, enjoying just, like, true, pure joy, uh, things just but so long as there's, like, a void for somebody, it makes everything else that much more of a challenge. I am feeling somehow like, again, we have the Queen of Wands. She emanates something from her, almost like a beacon that pulls somebody in. Uh, there's something about the chair, like the Queen of Wands is unstoppable at this point. And I'm starting to wonder if in her sadness and feeling separated from something that she felt like should come in, she's almost like increased this frequency, or it's like it's more potent, or she's just come to the resolve of I'm getting exactly what I want. Chariot has that, like, nothing can stop it once things are aligned. Maybe in this sense of sadness, she was recognized how much something matters or means to her. And so, therefore, her desire for something increases and acts like that beacon. Because there's also this sense of like the Queen of Cups, this love that's ready to go somewhere is acting like the star that's kind of like pulling somebody in. You follow the North Star home. This is just a woo woo one. If you're not into woo woo shit, it's probably not your reading because, you know, sometimes readings can sound too fantastical, but it's because it's speaking more on a not from a pragmatic human sense, but more from an experiential place, the field of possibilities and whatnot. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, right there with the 10 of Cups. Yeah, this provides the foundation. Four of Pentacles is the idea that, again, same as the three, but this is the ground, this is the stability, this is the foundation from which I can build. It allows me to be both present in the moment and think about the future and determine what I do and don't want to invest in. I feel secure in this. So then here's the communication. It's the communication that comes in with the intent. Since it's the Knight of Cups, it's the intent. I have the intent of pursuing somebody. I have the intent of wanting to date, flirt, uh, uh, be romantic with somebody. That's the intent. It's not I'm going to, oh, well, they seem kind of cool, or I'm going to, well, we'll just start out like this. This is full throttle. I don't bullshit around and I don't try to tiptoe my way in or test the waters. I am coming full fledged with the intent of. Okay. There's something that with this connection brings peace to whoever the King of Swords mind. It quiets things. So tell us about the near miss. Like what is this shit about it? Like it almost happened once before, but now it is. You got any tea on that shit. I feel like that could help ground this in because I mean, at this point, this could be anybody's, right? You're kind of like, okay. Unless you solidly identify with one of the two. The sun. We've been talking about things that didn't happen by Leo season last year that will transpire this year. The sun is just screaming. Some of you may have had, because I saw the Four of Swords, may have had the notion, desire, or prompting to go on like a trip, a vacation that never happened. Because the Four of Swords does talk about holiday vacation, travel, taking that pause, the reprieve to recalibrate. Um, let's find out. Two of Swords, Eight of Cups. There was, dare I say, a nudge to leave something behind that someone him and hawed on. It was the lack of decision to come towards somebody that created all that turmoil. Because the Two of Swords is in this deck is about making that decision and peace is finally restored. Hierophant is also giving me like contracts, like somebody feeling obligated or tied to something else. And so again, rather than not thinking that they could do both, they prioritized one over the other. So what happened with that? Ten of Wands. Yeah, no shit, was it a burden? Oh gosh. It was not giving them what they wanted. I don't think they were getting what they thought they would get. It just wasn't what they thought. Is that the real reason? Okay, so it was the burden was too great to play this game of putting focus into one area or one person or one job or whatever it was at the expense of a connection or at the expense of a potential connection, or love in general, let's just say. Uh, it feels like a great, like they're showing me, I'm not trying to get religious, but they're showing me, the boulder that was rolled in front of the tomb. Like it's like a boulder. That's what they're showing the Ten of Wands like. It was just too much. It felt very oppressive. Definitely a lesson learned here about prioritization. They're not telling me something here. I can fucking feel it. I feel like I'm dancing around something and they're not saying it out and out right. And I fucking want to know what it is. Ace of Pentacles. They want something new. What was this past contract? There's the King of Wands. I'm telling you, they're not saying something. Right out loud. The King of Wands and the Ace of Swords. They know the truth now. Whatever they were conflating before, they know the fucking truth now. The path is absolutely cleared. What did they leave behind? I'm not buying this shit. What did they leave behind? What did they leave behind? It's Page of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. There's that fucking Seven of Cups. Three of Swords. Okay. There's an there the Page of Wands is giving me like young, immature, erratic, fiery energy, like a immature fire energy, somebody younger than them. Nine of Pentacles is just this. They keep focusing on immature and like erratic-y, almost like someone who doesn't know how to direct their passion, their intentions, their desires. They don't know how to like focus it in. And when I say that, it's almost like somebody whose mood can like they just shoot off at the hip. They don't have like there's no emotional maturity there. I won't say no emotional maturity. Yeah, it feels really demanding. I have to cover the tatas up. Sorry, guys. Really demanding. I'm trying to avoid saying something because I don't mean to be this way, y'all. But I know we have somebody in the chat that's an Aries, and so I mean no shade whatso fucking ever because there are very beneficial, beautiful, very mature Aries out there. But then there's also some that are just like, what the fuck? They're like the child of the zodiac. Somebody acts like a child. Page of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. But this is giving me like princessy, pillowy, the pillow princessy, the I don't fucking know. Like just like I deserve all the world. Very materialistic. Thank you. Thank you. And that is where that's the source of the confliction. Feels as if whatever success was had with this person had to be more of the material and in the mundane than, say, spiritually speaking or emotionally speaking. The Seven of Cups gives me all over the place. And it's also like there was an illusion of success. Again, being able to accomplish certain things in this world with somebody does not mean that the relationship in and of itself is a success or what you ever really wanted or desired to begin with. For we always want something to develop into something, and it's feels very stunted. So the Three of Swords, it wasn't something that was there was a letting go of this kind of energy person. Am I getting this accurately? I want to make sure. Okay. I saw the Six of Wands with the Six of Cups. It's almost like they know that they would have success with somebody that has a soul tie. This didn't. And while, being with this kind of energy can be exciting at times and can keep you on your toes, it's not necessarily emotionally or spiritually fulfilling. Yeah, Ace of Cups with the Six of Cups. There is like they want a soul level. They want to satiate their soul, is what it feels like. Okay. Ten of Swords with Five of Pentacles. So describing, and maybe that was the focus. Maybe materialistic, uh, 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 um, maybe they're used to being in relationships where something very materialistic is the focus, and um, uh, the outer worldly stability was a priority, and so maybe they assumed that that's what needed to, because it feels like they lost out on some things, that, or they will lose out on some things, um and they assumed that that was a necessity for stability within a relationship, because that's how the other relationships or relationship they had was based on. It was like their relationship was only good so long as, materially speaking, they were good. Uh, uh, but otherwise, that's very worldly things is what anchored that relationship. Um, so in this situation, it feels like when you have lived from that stance, where, because you can be in the conflict with, I don't want that to be my focus. I don't want that to be the thing that gives me a sense of stability in this world. I wish that weren't true, but yet still kind of live your life according to that. And it's almost like worst case scenario is coming true, where they are losing financially, um, or have in the past lost financially. Because Ten of Swords is kind of like bottom, like you bottom out with something. It is, there's nowhere to go but up. Um, it is worst case scenario coming true, right? Nine of Swords, the anxieties, the fears. Ten of Swords is worst case scenario coming true, which is the Five of Pentacles, which is material trouble. Good morning, everybody. Um, so either they recognize it's an inevitability to get what they want, and that was something that they were fearful of, or it's something that they went into, they they entered into like a place of material trouble because they separated themselves from this in hopes of finding the something that spoke to their soul, a connection that spoke to their soul, that was emotionally satisfying, and maybe upon finding the Queen of Wands, it's like, oh, I need to get my ducks in a row before, because again, every relationship and their version of material trouble very well may not be anybody else's version of that, right? Like they may be a person who's never felt secure uh, in this world because they've been conditioned to always constantly know, always having to improve, get more, and there's obviously a disconnect with living like that. And so maybe that's also part of the mindset shift is not focusing on what they don't have and focusing on what they could have, right? And so there's been this shift with, I want to say it's the King of Swords, and it's that shift that has caused the delay with the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is kind of over here like, I thought something would happen in my life by now. I thought I would find this person, but whatever this person was going through, that's why the Three of Sword, like, yeah. So there's just this idea of something has been taken care of. There is a foundation. I wouldn't necessarily say that they feel that it's what it needs to be, but there is a recognition that they were still focusing on the material and prioritizing that, and still upset, sad, disconnected. And it's kind of like, okay, well, worst case scenario happens, so now what? Like, there's something about making the process that much better. Like, again, I think that when they have this connection, they will be at their best. And it alleviates that oppressive energy and like weight of the world on their shoulders. And somehow the material becomes that much more fluid and easy. That makes sense. When did this separation or walking okay, 4 of Cups. Now, generally speaking, I would think like somebody's waiting for the proverbial cup to come out from the sky, but this particular deck, they call it blended pleasures. I think that they understand um now that they can do both. That it's not a I have to accomplish one before I am able to have the other. It is I can build my life both. Where'd you go? And by the way, we have all 4 tens out here. I just fucking realized that. I know y'all were probably screaming like, "What?" Like, "Look, bitch." So we have the 10 of cups and the 10 of pentacles. You can have both at the same time. You can do both. You don't have to attain one before the other in order to get the other, if that makes sense. That it's from the 10 of cups that the 10 of pentacles is achieved. And that's even how tarot goes. There's a an order to the suits. Like one builds upon the other, and so you don't really attain or experience anything in the material in your reality until the swords, the cups, the wands, then it informs and impacts your reality. So it's one of those things where like the 10 of cups comes in and then the 10 of pentacles. Because the 10 of cups is a part of the foundation. If we're talking about legacy and family and what you leave behind, 10 of cups comes first before you ever achieve the 10 of pentacles. So that's what they're realizing. That's the conclusion they're coming to. They don't see it as something where and that's what's leaving them in a place of willingness to come in now. And again, it nearly happened before, and I almost want to say they almost missed it this time around too. What changed their perspective? What tipped the iceberg? What tipped the iceberg is what I want to say. What tipped things over? Spirit. 8 of Wands. In traditional Rider-Waite, it's the only tarot card that doesn't have a person or an entity like a angel or something in it. So this is strictly moved by spirit, which is the reason why it can happen with great speed. Spirit influenced this. 6 of Swords. So it's almost like turning the volume up. Emperor. Oh, I love that. Oh my God. Emperor, Hierophant, Knight of Cups, 2 of Cups. Okay. Okay. This is happening quickly. Spirit is almost like helping in the assistance of making something happen really quickly. Setting things up just so because again, something's coming back around. Emperor and Hierophant. Motherfucker's ready for some wants a high level commitment. Absolutely. Ready to bring this soul connection into reality. I told you, has every fucking intent. Like, they don't come forward as like testing the waters, or they come forward and you will know, hey, I'd like to take you out. Hey, like, there's no confusing. There's no more 7 of Cups. There's no more confusing where this person stands, if you ever did. If you don't know who this person is, they come in very upfront, to the point, direct, straightforward. This is their intent. With the very first moment that they make contact, that is their intent. Anything else you want to give to before we let this go? Okay. Any messages for the Queen of Wands? Anything like that? We still haven't, like, there is a real possibility the Queen of Wands does not know, or is completely oblivious to who the King of Swords is. And you may very well know who they are, but not that this is going to transpire or that they felt this way. I think with the Queen of Wands, there's more been this overall something should like thinking I would have encountered this by now. Same as like when we feel something coming and then it doesn't show up, we're like, what is going on? Success. That's 3 times we've gotten the 6 of Wands. This is happening this time. There is not going to be a near miss. Um, it almost did. There's something like, I don't know if time was almost like out, but like this, I don't know what that has to do with anything. But it's like, it's going to happen this time. It's coming back around. It's going to happen. Between Chariot, which we started out with victory and success, and the 3 different 6 of Wands, it's going to happen this go round. Yep. Does not want to do it alone. Does not want to do anything alone. Realizes that everything that they set their mind and their heart to as a goal is always going to be harder because they've not prioritized answering the call within their soul, their heart, finding that love that they've sought. It's all going to feel more complicated and more weighted. Um, this individual is very rooted in this now. I get a very, even though the King of Swords, I think the King of Swords represents where the transformation has been happening. Um, because now they understand, they feel very confident about what they understand about themselves, but they themselves feel more of a really well-rooted. I mean, King of Pentacles, obviously somebody who's experienced success, who knows how to who knows how to get to a successful state. Again, their version of material troubles uh may be different than yours. You know what I mean? They've definitely experienced getting the emperor coming out twice. Immense success. But at this point in life, the echo or the yearn for this kind of a connection is so great that it acts as an inhibitor to ever feeling truly successful within their life because this is lacking. So um yeah, their priorities have shifted. And so as a result, this things just going everywhere. I'm gonna redo that because I don't even know the or. There's a whole book, whole ass book, and we're gonna wrap this up. Some of you very well may know and just wondered why this was something that never went anywhere, or you attempted to kind of like, like you've been calling it in. I'm just gonna say you've been in the energy ready for this. Queen of Wands is really good at flirting. You may have flirted. You may put like smoke signals. Like you're like, I put it out there. I made sure I was seen. Now something never happened. I mean, that is possible. Leo season. Leo. This motherfucker might be a Leo, I guess. I don't know. But Leo season. The sun, everything works out, is what they're saying. Everything works out. So no matter the trajectory this is taken or the hurt feelings that may have developed across this, It all works out in the end, and it's all like that. Look at that. Three, six of wands, a chariot, and two sun cards. When I tell you this is going to be successful, this is like spirit is like blessing the shit out of this. And whatever did not go right or according to someone's desires will all be rectified and almost null once this comes together because the sun just mutes out any negativity whatsoever. So, anything else? I think we're about done. I desperately want to be able to tie this for somebody, but if you see yourself in this, you see yourself in this. If you don't, if you feel it, you're gonna know. I was hoping for a little something, something, but you know. And everything's been so very matter of fact. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get really excited and I'm kind of thing, and this is like like there. And anytime a reading gets that way, where it's very just like it could almost be monotonous, like in the tone and everything. I'm just like boom, 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 boom. That is like I always say that's directly from source. There's no running it or filtering it through spiritual teams. There's no like, ooh, like putting me in a position where I'm like, ooh, I know what that feels like. Ooh, like I'm not picking up on emotions, energies, anything. This is like I am just stating facts. Um, there's no more time for getting caught up in messy emotions, meaning like conflictual, confusing, like I just feel like saying like as a parent, when you finally just make a decision and you're like, you're not angry, you're just like, this is this, period. Just period. This is this. That's what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like you're talking to your child and stuff. The fucking Hierophant. It has it not come out in every damn deck? The Hierophant on the split with the absolute Leo season. So there is a coming together. Um The King of Swords had his sword up. We do have the Ace of Swords here, so there very well may be communication. Um, and not piddly shit. Remember, this isn't a I'm not dipping my toe into the waters or I'm trying, the Knight of Cups is like, oh, I have an intent and you're gonna know the intent. I'm either flirting, I'm being very like sweet and like you can tell the intent behind connecting, messaging. You know what I mean? It's not like they replied to something on social media that you asked. You know what I mean? Just to be able to get some kind of communicate. No, 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 no. No, they are doing this and they're making it known. They are making it known. All right. I feel done. Why do I keep wanting to pick up the deck? Like, what are we saying here? This is the rebirth. There's that page of swords. There's that communication. Very fucking direct. King of Wands. Ugh. Multiple sides of the Emperor's come out in this reading. This communication is, I want you, because the King of Wands, he's singularly focused. He's driven, he follows through. If he wants something, he gets it. Master manifester, I want it, I got it kind of energy. And nothing stands in his way. He gets exactly what he wants. And like that's the type of like he's coming across like BDE. You know what I mean? Uh the charm, but not the Knight of Wands kind of charm, right? This is the King of Wands. It's like it's getting a second life. So, all right. I don't know how they're gonna message you or communicate with you. This could be in person, this could be online, this could be a myriad of ways, but trust me, when they do, whatever truth they hold, you're going to be able to see it. It's going to be in the clear light of day. I'm just telling you the Sun card, okay? Um, yeah. It's almost like they wanted to give the the heads up as to why now. Like why now suddenly? You know what I mean? And it's like, well, this is what was going down. Because I mean, if it's like if you really thought something was to happen or transpire earlier, it kind of makes you feel like you were second fiddle or like crusty leftovers or a sloppy second. I don't know. Like oh, you now you want this, but you know, like or now I'm getting this. It doesn't feel as but it's not that. It's not that, and they're like, don't look at it like because you know when somebody comes in, then you start questioning like, no, but you didn't want me, so and that's got to be for somebody who where they think they know who this is because there's this feeling of or I mean, I guess even if they weren't, they're like, no, not necessarily, because even if they weren't, it's kind of like, why suddenly now are you showing up in my life? It makes you question for whatever reason. And so they're giving a backstory. There we go. That's the word, a backstory. So, alrighty. Just so that you understand what's been transpiring, I guess. Anywho's. Alrighty. How's everybody doing out there? That was a general read, collective read, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I feel like I'm not done. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to freaking do. This feels like an individual message that's trying to come through. Um, the other one focused on more than one person. And I feel like they've got a direct message for somebody. I'm looking. I'm gonna let me do this really quick and see what the fuck comes through. It's Madame Endora's fortune telling deck. Yeah, this is a direct message for somebody. Like it's not talking about. I mean, very well. Like there's two people, but it's like I feel like I'm narrowing something down, and it's like I got something to say to you, kind of thing. So that's what we're gonna do. Wow, what a conflicting. Beware who you trust. You're safe from harm. Somebody is concerned. Somebody here is questioning who or what they can trust. I'm going to be honest with you. This feels very masculine. Whoever I'm directing this towards, and again, not indicative of of gender or gender identity. It's more like you are heavy in your masculine right now. Like life must be requiring that. But if you're in a protective stance, obviously, right? Beware who you trust. But there is a question, can I trust this or them or and so it's like you are safe from harm. Why are they questioning this? Wham! Look, did you see a shit? Not my coffee over, y'all. Oh, that woke me up. Shit, fire saving matches. Oh, Lord of mercy. Just put that back over there. Why are they afraid? Why are they worried? Why do they feel like they get like it does feel like I want to trust a situation or something. Um, but there's a reassurance needed. Night Sun Tarot. Because gosh almighty. This poor desk has had it. Look, I got a burn mark there where I put my stuff that I was burning. Um, Somebody's walls or defenses might be up, and it's like you're safe, like the shield. The idea of like you are shielded, so you don't have to shield. It also gives I'm the fool. I'm about to take a leap or a risk. Somebody feels like they're in a place of risky business right now, and not sure if they can, but it's a who. So it has to be, can I trust them? Or can, like, who can I trust? But I feel like I'm at the precipice of like jumping off a cliff. So, oh, Ten of Swords. Somebody's been burnt. Some shit's not gone exactly how they thought. Okay. Oh, shit. Are we serious? Ten of Swords to the Ace of Swords. Definitely a new beginning. It's like, remember, we said Ten of Swords only can only go up from here. You move from the 10 to the ace. Mm. They're showing me the crown of thorns, like the price to pay for starting anew, having clarity, understanding your truth. What's true or what's right, still, there's still pain associated with it. And it has something to do with the past. It's like I can know and see clearly the truth and still feel the pain of past knowledge. Or I know the sacrifice. So basically the risk for the fool. And I know it because I've been at the Ten of Swords before. Okay. What is this in regards to? Star, Chariot, Three of Swords. Oh, man. Three of Swords reminds me of how easily a lie can be hid or stay hidden amongst truths, other truths. You know how like somebody can give you like half truths, and so it casts shadows of doubt on anything that you might question as a lie, because there's the sword pointing down as a lie, and it's piercing the heart, something that wasn't true, amongst other things that are. Star card is a healing that has happened. It is the encouragement to move forward. It is being shown the way forward. The Chariot is the commitment, things aligning. This is just the reassurance. You're showing me the time, the hourglass being tipped on its side. Like, I guess something was running out of time and they've paused something. They've removed an obstacle to ensure success for things to align. Like something was paused while somebody was healing. Okay. So why are you wanting to? Why did somebody needs reassurance? This is just reassurance. It is going to be successful. That this is the right decision. That though the past or has had pain in it. Ten of Swords, Three of Swords. Um, it's like somebody was given the grace to heal. This has got to be. It feels. I don't want to say it is, but it feels a little connected to the past message of where something was uh like there's like a second go round, like something was put on pause so somebody could heal, um because they want to. There's something about success is assured. You're safe from harm. Okay. My Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Hierophant. Her heart's in a cage in this particular deck. Queen of Swords. Protected. There's the Thorn of Crowns. The Crown of Thorns. God, the Thorn of Crowns. Look, y'all. Look. The that we picked out here. Chart, is this real? Page of Pentacles has the scroll there. Something begins or initiates. I'm confused because I am feeling like the when someone's saying, who can you trust this person, like that feels very masculine, like somebody in that. But I did say in a very protective state. Queen of Swords usually has her sword drawn, ready at the get-go, ready to cut something off real fucking quick, not gonna give something much leeway or leniency. But I can't get away from like the reassurance that you can trust this person is for a masculine, but the unguardedness is a very feminine energy, and that may just be the more tender side to somebody. That's what I need to clarify because I'm feeling a Queen of Swords feels like a feminine, and I'm like, okay, which still can be. It's can I trust? And you're heavily in your masculine energy, and like you're safe from harm. You very well might be somebody who predominantly feels feminine, and you're only feeling masculine right now because you're very guarded. Huh. Nine of Swords. Yeah, there's a fear there. There's a fear at the beginning of something. Two of Wands. Actually take action on something that you really do desire. Let's get real. This person's doing acrobatics just so that they don't have to fucking touch the water below them. We're doing some shit to stay not vulnerable, like to stay out of the emotions. Afraid to act, not wanting to compete for something, not wanting to be emotionally confused. That's all changing. That's all changing. Why do I feel what am I feeling off of this Page of Pentacles really quick? Because why is that shit? Like sometimes it's choppy today. They won't just go brrr with the message. It's like in this, in this, in this. I'm like, okay, can we move forward on this shit? But I guess this represents the resistance that might be there. The wait before I jump. Are we sure that it's safe? Kind of a thing. And it's like you are safe. Because it's the wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Like, are you going to find another wolf in sheep's clothing? Give me the Page of Pentacles. What the fuck is? 7 of Wands, 8 of Wands. So the guardedness is out of self-preservation and protection. But when it's paired with the 8 of Wands, see, the wands act like stairs to take you out of some kind of hole. Ugh. Take it if it's yours, because I am conflicted. I was so sure it felt very, very masculine. And it's almost like someone's feminine side is caged up, that sense of vulnerability, willingness to crack open, let the emotions flow, the trust, taking off the armor. This guardedness that you have is out of self-preservation, out of self-love. But I feel like saying something about whatever is about to transpire actually feeds you more than this guardedness. This Page of Pentacles takes you out of the hole fast. This dark, deep abyss. I don't know why they're making it sound like that, but I think something is going to change very quickly. Develop, unfold. There absolutely is a swiftness. Once something's brought into the light of day, into reality, things change. Things will take off. And so it's like you need the reassurance now before it does. It's going to move quickly. Towards commitment, towards once something enters your reality, you will be committed to it very quickly. Something's already begun. 10 of Wands. Nope. We're not doing that. That egg is already cracked open. Something's already... It's like I wanna say you're already not doing this alone. Page of Cups, 3 of Cups. Look, something's already begun. 3 of Cups is talking about your social circle, your social network, community, groups of people. Um, you know, it could be social media, it could be getting out in your community, having fun. Page of Cups. Something has already begun. It is the energy of like so usually a page it can be like somebody having interest in you or like a friendship or something to that degree. It's like an associate, some level of connection. Something's already begun though. Why do I feel like somebody's gonna invite you out? This does play into the last one. How the fuck has that already begun if they ain't said shit yet? Huh? Like, you're already not doing this alone. Why you gotta be so cryptic? For fuck's sake. Okie dokie. That's like 10. I'm trying to keep it simple, guys. Ugh. Ugh. Because it's faded, we have the tower there. Tower is always faded. It's like inevitable. And it's being directed by spirit. Okay. Okay. Like a force already overseeing this. It's just inevitable. Guess that's why you're safe from harm. Like it wouldn't be able to transpire if you couldn't trust. You can trust. All right, guys. They're not letting me move to a different deck. Can I? Not yet. I don't know. The rebirth is about to happen. I guess to cover to Tata's. She's pregnant, just like if she were the Empress, but this is the death card. See, the scythe is used to actually harvest. It ends the buildup, the growing phase, and you enter the rebirth or the birth of something. So I guess they're insinuating that the only reason this is happening now is because it started a long time ago. Long time ago. Listen to me. Far, far away and a long, 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 long time ago. It's already started. So there was already something in the works, which is okay. And because it did, now the last reading was something coming back a second time. So because it had already started, yeah, it's harvest time actually. Is this a is this there's a is this that's a sun? You tell me about the Page of Cups real quick before we go. Because we don't want to beat a dead horse because this is just okay. Don't try to rack your brain. It's kind of been obscured from your view. That's the moon card right there. 6 of Cups. Jesus. Soul, it's the soul connection. There's two sixes. There's 6 of cups and love, the lovers. The reason I paused is I'm like obscured. And the last one was kind of like you kind of know. You very some do, some don't. And you're like, how comes I haven't? And then like, what do they mean? It's been obscured. I guess to the Queen of Wands it has. You don't see how this is. You don't fucking have a clue what all has gone on. Remember I was saying they're not giving me everything, blah 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 blah. And then they gave me a little bit about, someone's past and the energy they had to separate from, and then the material like it's almost like it satiates them. There's something else here that you don't know. That you'll only learn when this comes together. Something's been I got hair in my mouth. Something's been obscured from you. So, remember I kept saying the King of Swords was watching the Queen of Wands? Why do I get the feeling like this person or this other person, like they know more than they've let on? Like, sometimes we can get into a connection and we fear that one of us feels like this is a deep soul connection and the other one is oblivious to it. Dare I say, this is a situation where, for once, the masculine is as equally informed and understanding of what this is as the feminine is. Or maybe even more. Hmm. You'll only know if this comes together. They're saying when, they're correcting me, but I'm just saying anybody can stop this shit, I would think. Like, if you choose out of something, I feel like you can always opt out of your destiny kind of thing. It's like people that have been in orbit of one another. The thing is, if somebody else is oblivious to what something is, it almost makes it easier to digest and more palatable when we think of why something hasn't come together. Because it's like, of course you're confused and blah, 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 blah. What would it be like if you found out they knew the whole fucking time and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And you still chose to, there's something here that you're gonna learn afterwards. This is a throwback to the past reading. It's about the desire to achieve a stable position financially, um, and not moving forward until and like try like something was planted long time ago. Quit saying long time ago. That's annoying the shit out of me. Something was planted before. Planted before. Uh, you're coming. Ship's coming in now. I just, I just. This is my feeling. You know how like when you dig and sit with the energy enough, and you're like, oh, and they're not out and outright saying it, but it's almost like they're like, we'll let you take a peek, and it's like, oh, Jesus. Um, What if, let's say, the person that you were flirting with and you put signals out to knew beyond a shadow of doubt exactly what you were doing when you did that and knew that there was something more there, but they still, because of past programming, they were projecting the need to financial stability, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. One comes before the other one. There was this uncovering of and this discovery of, I'm not going to, this hole is too great. This hole is too great. Um, this void is too strong, too oppressive, that it overshadows um, everything, and I can't seem to, you know what I mean? And so there was a transformation over time of realizing that they wanted this and that it was the priority. I get the fucking feeling that this King of Swords Emperor bullshit motherfucker from the other one has has been aware and like I don't want to say watching, but it fucking feels that way. Every time you said something, every time if you ever did say anything, they could be watching social media. They could be Green Ones sent out smoke signals, so at some point they saw him. They got him. They were not confused about those. That is the feeling of it's one thing when you just go cross somebody's radar and, like, they miss it, right? Because then it's like, was it a near miss before? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was, like, a second go round, like, kinda feels more of a choice then versus, like, barely missing the cliffs, you know, because um, that's why there's pain with the truth. Fuck. Fuck. Okay. And that's why they're saying, that might be why something might feel like red flags then. Because I was saying something before about, well, if it hasn't like, even in the first reading, like, but if it hasn't been if they couldn't like, it was supposed to happen then, and it's just now you show up, now it's coming in. Remember, I was giving that, like, at the very end of the last read? And so they're kind of like, "No, okay." Um, can you really trust it then? Especially if you find out that they were aware the whole fucking time when you were sending out, like, signals. It could even be something where it's like, someone who posts on social media is like, "Oh my god, when am I gonna find my blah, 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 blah," or like, "Look at all these men out here." You know how, like, some people will put online, they're like, can my future spouse come and save me because it's rough out here and they're treating me wrong, kind of thing. Like you put things out there like you've been showing that you're ready. They still didn't come, only to come to the realization at a later point that the reason they didn't come in, they now know wasn't reason enough or a good reason or is no, like, you know what I mean? It's like they didn't accomplish what they wanted to with the delay other than their mindset set shift. I don't know. Remember, I was like, somebody feels like second fiddle or sloppy seconds, or like I was putting the cards up talking like, and I'm like, that's why. That's why they wanted all of a sudden I was like, they're like, let me address this. Because I was saying some shit as I was putting the last read up. And I'm like, and that might be why Queen of Swords might come out when this presents. Because you're like, is that really something that you go into? Like you knew I liked you all along and you even liked me and you just that might be problematic for somebody. Okay. Well, okay. So, this communication, this clarity, the truth, this thing coming together, there may be elements of it where you don't know why, but you feel guarded and as if it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing then. Like if you couldn't come to this conclusion and see this about me to begin with, can I really trust you when you say that you do now? Like there's just this and I feel like this is old stuff where it's like, how like you have muscle memory and so it's like a visceral reaction. Your mind very well knows that one thing does not equate to the other necessarily, but your body has the same reaction of is it safe though? Like and spirit's here to say that it is. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap that up because I mean, at this point, you can only talk about something so much before it actually happens. And you can't coach somebody through it. You can give them a heads up. And some things just have to be experienced. You know what I mean? And sometimes when we talk more about something, it can bring about more anxiety. And so spirits really wanting to quell certain things before it gets out of hand. Um, and just out the gate let you know that things are safe. So, alrighty, I am gonna wrap it up then. I hope the messages find whoever it's meant for, and I hope you'll have a fantastic day. And I will see you at the next read.